Yo, 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 what it is, what it do, what it does. You're back on Free Game with your boy, Master Key, and it's straight like that. So, when we're talking about this term called God, first we need to understand that this term was given to us a few centuries ago. So, when we, different words and phrases, we must ask ourselves, where did we learn this and who did this come from? So obviously this word came from a mind of a human being, just like me and you out there, right? So once we understand that these terms and these concepts was coming from ourselves via people that came before us, we need to understand that we can come up with our own terms and our own concepts to, define this thing called God, right? Every time we hear this name God, we always, equate it to something that's higher than us, something that's separate from us, something that's all powerful, all knowing, and is put on a different level than us, right? So how can we even compare ourselves to this superhuman being, right? So we look at it like we actually look at it like an alien form, right? It's a special being outside of this world that's watching over everything and controlling everything, right? It's outside of this realm. So anything outside of this, Earth atmosphere is considered a extraterrestrial. Whether it's a fucking soda can that came from outer space and coming into our atmosphere is considered an extraterrestrial. So as we separate ourselves from this superhuman being, we begin to, develop fear of what can happen since we learned that this special being is all powerful and all knowing. Obviously we innately develop a fear of it. It's like the Loch Ness monster or Bigfoot, or say if dinosaurs were still on this earth, we will be in fear because how big and powerful these things are, right? And I think that's some of the ways to keep us tamed and to have us stagnant of our true powers, right? So I'm here to tell you that you are God, right? So if you're looking for God, I'm here to tell you that you're God, right? Every being and every part of you is made of God, down to your hair follicles, down to your DNA, molecules, all the fancy science words we want to, come up with to whatever's making up our person. Some of the traits that we separate ourselves when we thinking about God is all knowing, right? So the human brain is something that we're still working on. We're still developing new ideas, and we're still actually creating new inventions off of the human brain. And we're walking around with this thing all day, every day, right? So all the technology and all the cool fancy stuff that we deem that's fancy is actually influenced by our brains that we're walking around with. So when we say that this being is all knowing and we separate it from us, then we begin to downgrade our knowledge, downgrade our awareness, downgrade our intelligence. And we must understand that we have all that inside of us. We can be all knowing if we practice the right things, read the right things, and, watch our energy. So another attribute we tend to put on this God figure is a miracle worker, right? He can raise people from the dead. All types of, mysterious things that this being can do. Well, I'm here to tell you that we can do these things as well. So when the Wright brothers decided to, fly, I'm pretty sure everybody around them was like, man, y'all is crazy. You hear these boys? They talking about they about to fly. What are you talking about? We just got horse and buggies right now. You feel me? Like the car just came out. Y'all, why? What you mean y'all about to fly? And now we can get the A to B in a matter of, minutes, right? We can fly across America in a matter of hours, right? We can talk to somebody that's not even here. We were using no wires, nothing. We're using this thing called Wi-Fi. It's amazing how this thing called Wi-Fi works, right? What a miracle, right? I can talk to somebody in East Africa and I'll be in Germany or in United States and talking to somebody across the world just by picking up a device and talking into it. Is that not a miracle? So us as humans, we already developing miracles. We're creating fucking robots and intelligence inside of machines right now. So we have this thing called algorithm. We have autocorrect. Are there not miracles? We're already performing miracles. So when we say miracles, we cannot separate ourselves from this being or the superhuman that we call God. Another attribute we, tend to attach to this, superhuman being, aka God, is he can heal the sick. Well, can you not heal yourself if you're eating the right, foods, right? You're having the round amount of sleep, right? You're exercising more. You can heal yourself without, the practices of doctors. Not to mention doctors and, people in the medical field does play a big role when it comes to healing. So we can't just eliminate the doctors for real. We can't do that. But do we not heal ourselves, right? We can thank our healing into existence, right? Well, there have been many instances where people just been healed out of nowhere, right? In situations where they had zero chance of survival, that come out of it strong and able to tell their own testimony. So we can heal ourselves. So he's everywhere, right? Omnipresent. He's everywhere at every time. So let me take you to your dream realm, right? So when you're in the dream, are you not the walls, the floor, the people that's walking around, the birds, the trees, the grass? All of these thoughts and ideas are coming from you. So when you're dreaming, you are everything in that dream. You are everywhere. You can be sitting at a bar and then in a matter of seconds or in a flash, you can be sitting in the bedroom or on a street or on a road or chasing someone. You can do all these things simultaneously while you're in your dream. So of course you can be everywhere at any moment, right? So we cannot downplay our dreams. When we dream, that is part of our reality. It is part of our consciousness. It's not something that we do just when we're sleeping, right? There's been instances where people, will wake up out of their dreams and still thinking they're in that dream world. So dreams are definitely part of us, and we're everywhere and everything inside that dream. We're actually God inside our dreams. We can do anything. We can fly if we want to. We can, transform and mutate into different things if we want to. And that goes on to, another attribute as being the maker of everything. We can create anything inside of our dreams, right? And not to mention that we're made of all of the things that we're seeing. Everything that we're surrounded by, we're made of these things. The only difference is that we're vibrating at a different speed than a chair. I am the chair and the chair is me. The only difference is the chair is just vibrating at a low frequency to the point it's just stagnant. It doesn't have consciousness to know that it's chair. And ultimately it's just trees. And ultimately it's just the ground, the earth. So if we begin to change our paradigm and start thinking in this manner, and I'm not saying this just, just get rid of your religious beliefs, right? Because, many people need those things to keep them going, right? It's hard for everyone to, come to this level of thinking, not to downgrade nobody, nothing, but it is hard, right? It takes a lot of mental strength, it takes a lot of, studying, it takes a lot of, mental agility, right? And to be honest, some people just ain't got time for that shit. People are caught up in this world and they have their own goals and their own aspirations. I can't knock them for that, right? They got their own free will. But this video is just to have you guys, think a little bit outside the box more. And ultimately, it's just motivation when you're down or when you feeling like you can't do it no more. When you need to call on somebody, you can call on yourself, right? When you having that disbelief, let's say in your God or whatever you believe in, you always have yourself. You're always walking with yourself, right? So you always have somebody to lean on, right? Because it can get hard sometimes looking outside of you and you like, man, shit just not happening. What's going on? And ultimately, it's just you setting yourself back, right? So ultimately, this is just strictly motivation. I ain't trying to, poke holes or poke fun at whatever y'all believe in. I'm just here to tell you guys that it's a different way of thinking out there, and hopefully this can have you guys, like I said, think outside the box and put all these attributes into yourself, right? Say, I am all knowing. Say, I am all powerful. I am omnipresent. I'm all these things, right? Start giving yourself some of the traits that you would give God and tell yourself these things, positive affirmation, right? And see if your life won't change. So strive to be better than you was yesterday. This your boy Master Key, and you're on free game in a straight like that.